Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m.
As soon as the cop in the front pulled out his gun, he just started shooting.
Calls for accountability after Denver police opened fire, injuring innocent bystanders.
I'm Denver 7's Christian Lopez, who's now looking over the case to see if officers should face disciplinary action.
Parents of the Uvalde elementary school kids are outraged.
There's a shooter in the school, there's shots being fired, and you're just standing in the hallway. And there's just no excuse for that.
Disturbing new body cam video exposes the failings of police responding to the shooter.
Shots fired inside the building, Uvalde.
Can you hear me, sir?
Investigators now say more lives could have been saved.
You're going to see a huge improvement to your commute as the new eastbound I-70 tunnel is now open. I'm keeping an eye on how traffic is flowing through the new tunnel all morning long.
I'm Denver 7's Veronica Acosta, looking at what's next for this project and the changes you'll see soon on your drive.
The king of Colorado craft beer has been overthrown, the new style that's replacing IPAs in popularity. Whether it's a beer or not, you're going to need a cool drink today. It's going to be a hot one. I'm Jessica Crawford.
I'm Brian Sanders. Yeah, it's kind of already hot for this hour. The line of cars outside my neighborhood pool this weekend, Lisa, was down the street. It was so packed. People need a place to cool off as we take a live look from our Lookout Mountain camera. Beautiful sunrise. I mean, it looks nice out there, but we need to just be safe and stay hydrated. It is a Denver 7 weather action day because we are approaching highs near the triple digits across the Front Range. Areas are under that heat advisory later this morning, Lisa.
Yeah, even Evergreen, 86 degrees in the foothills. It's going to be hard to find a spot across the state that is not really hot today. Take a look. The areas here shaded in this orange color, those counties under a heat advisory. That goes into effect here by mid-morning, 10 o'clock, and we're going to see some triple-digit heat. So it can get dangerous. You need to be careful out there. Make sure you're wearing some light-colored clothes. You're also drinking a lot of water today. Upper 90s near 100 between about 1 and 3 o'clock. Now, keep in mind that the record high today is 99, and we're calling for 100 here in Denver, so we could be breaking another record here this summer. It looks like, mid triple-digit heat down there. 104, 105 near Pueblo, Lamar, Sterling today, 104. Same thing there in Greeley with 80s in the mountains. Now, there might be a little relief this afternoon. Slight chance for an isolated storm or two here along the Front Range. Very few and far between, though. Much better chance that we're going to see a few storms tomorrow. We'll take a closer look at that, Jason, coming up.
I would imagine the Colorado record is probably higher, probably in the low 1-teens.
Oh, yeah, down across southeastern Colorado, yeah.
Right now we have a pretty good drive overall. We do have a problem, though, going up to the north, out of Greeley, going up into Wyoming, up into Cheyenne. We do have a closure for this crash. It's about 5 miles south of the Colorado-Wyoming state line, and that's why Highway 85 is closed down right now just north of Carr. And so I-25 is the easiest way to get around it. The rest of the drive just getting a little bit busier. Usual spots just popped up. A new problem, southbound I-25 at 84th Avenue, so that's going to be hanging us up coming in from the Thornton Parkway. You can see some busier areas here across I-270, I-76, south side nice and quiet, and I-70 is quiet for now as well as you take a look at the I-70 drive. So this is the westbound side. This is where eastbound was as of Friday morning, but now we're driving there in the new tunnel. Now you still see the cone set up. This is where the express lane is. That is not open yet, but all the general purpose lanes are open, and this is where the exit is to that tunnel. So what's next with the I-70 project now that the new tunnel is open? Denver 7 Veronica Acosta is at the opening of the tunnel. There is still some important work to do, Veronica, before they can call this project done.
There is, but take a look at it. For the first time ever, we're seeing traffic run on both sides of the tunnel, both eastbound and westbound. And like you mentioned, it's flowing real smooth this morning. Project not all said and done. There are still two major things that have to happen in order to wrap this project up. Workers, they need to finish the park and playground. Those will be on top of the tunnels. And then they need to work on changing the westbound tunnel from two-way traffic over to one-way traffic. Workers do need to do some restriping in the westbound tunnel to create the permanent wider lanes, the express lane you just mentioned, and then the wider shoulders. But before that, they do have to change those barrier walls as well.
When you look at this concrete barrier, you look at some of the flares on the barrier, that is designed for an eastbound traffic shift or an eastbound traffic movement. In that tunnel, ultimately it needs to be designed for a westbound traffic movement. We are going to have to demolish some of the barrier and re-pour that barrier. It's a lot of work. There are a lot of systems and things that need to be modified in order to switch to the final configuration.
So definitely work is not all said and done just yet. The westbound I-70 tunnel, that will be in its final stage come September. And then of course there's still some other added changes that need to happen, and we'll run you through those in the next half hour. We're live in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Veronica. Well, we do have some breaking news this morning. Take a quick look at your screen here. The state has just issued an endangered missing child alert for these two girls. 10-year-old Mia White on the left and 11-year-old Ariana Britton on the right took an RTD train from Douglas County into Denver last night. They were last seen downtown along the 16th Street Mall at California Street. So if you can help get them home safely, call 911.
And now back to the fallout from this chaotic scene in Lodo over the weekend. Denver police opened fire as a bar was letting out. They say they were targeting a man with a gun, but now 5 people are recovering after being hit. Denver 7's Christian Lopez is live at the scene at 20th and Larimer. And Christian, this case is going to the office of the Independent Monitor.
And that office was created by the mayor and city council in 2004 to look into cases like this shooting where 5 innocent people were hit. So they're responsible for looking into any complaints against DPT, officer-involved shootings, and in-custody deaths involving police as well. And they'll recommend any disciplinary action. In a video that was sent to us by witnesses, you can see those moments of chaos after that shooting broke out here in Lodo early Sunday morning. In the video, you can see what appears to be an innocent bystander who was shot in the leg, as well as part of it also shows a man handcuffed by police on the ground. Denver police officers were responding to a fight that broke out involving the suspect Jordan Waddy. Officers say that they followed Waddy, and at some point he pointed a gun in their direction, and that is when they fired. Waddy was hit, but he is expected to survive. The 5 innocent bystanders caught in the middle of all of it were also injured, but they are expected to be okay. Denver police say that at this time it appears the suspect did not fire his weapon. We did speak to witnesses who say that this all happened while there were crowds of people all around.
As soon as the cop in the front pulled out his gun, he just started shooting. Like there was no time, no pause to process. Like as soon as he pulled it out, he just started shooting, and we heard 4 shots, and there was like a crowd of people in front of us, and there were still people coming out of the bar itself.
The suspect is currently in police custody. He could face criminal charges. Meanwhile, the 3 officers who fired their guns, they are on administrative leave. We're live in Denver this morning. I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Thank you, Christian. Well, this morning, parents in Uvalde, Texas are outraged after a report showed nearly 400 police responded to the Robb Elementary School shooting, but did not follow their active shooter training. It also said they failed to prioritize the lives of innocent kids over their own.
Whatever I see in this report's not going to bring my son back, but we need to prevent it so somebody else won't lose their son, their daughter, their kids.
Uvalde's mayor also released new body cam video here. The report said it was possible some of the victims could have survived if officers hadn't waited 73 additional minutes to confront the gunman. Law enforcement also never established an effective command post outside, which led to communication problems inside. Some officers in the new video didn't even seem to know what was happening.
What are we doing here?
We're also learning the shooter was a former student at Robb Elementary School. He attended 4th grade inside the classroom where the shooting happened, and his former teacher testified that he was bullied that year. The country's latest mass shooting was at a mall in Indianapolis. The Gun Violence Archive says it is the 350th in the U.S. this year, and we're only in July. 3 people were killed, and 2 people, including a 12-year-old girl, were hurt. It could have been a lot worse, though. A bystander with a gun intervened and killed the shooter.
I was really, really scared. I wanted to close the gate, but people kept running at me, and I just kept letting people in and waiting.
Investigators say the suspect had a rifle and several magazines of ammunition. Police have not revealed a motive.
Fire evacuation orders are canceled near Red Feather Lakes in Larimer County. A fire that burned 2 cabins on Lone Pine Court spread to the grass. Firefighters were able to quickly put those flames out, and no one was hurt. Deputies are looking into if kids might have started this small fire in Castle Pines on Sunday. A couple of kids were setting off model rockets when the fire broke out. Some neighbors smelled the smoke and came out with a fire extinguisher to help put out the flames. Fire crews arrived soon after and finished the job. Luckily, no one was hurt. Meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo joining us now, and high heat means higher fire danger.
Yeah, it will be high. The good news is we're not going to see extremely gusty winds, which is nice. That would mean we'd have more red flag warnings covering most of northeastern Colorado, but it's going to heat up early on. And take a look, 92 by about 11 o'clock with very few thunderstorms possible this afternoon. And if you get one rolling over your house, Jason, very little rain. We'll see a better chance of storms tomorrow. I'll show you that the hour by hour coming up here in just a minute.
And we have a new problem coming in from the north side, so at least an extra 10 minutes depending on what lane you're going to be in on the southbound side of I-25. You can see how that left lane is all jammed up. Folks trying to get to that exit at 270 and I-76, that's where you're being hung up with this new crash down in here. And the right lanes are actually moving back a lot faster for you. So depending on what lanes, it can be actually be a little bit dangerous with folks here that are stopped trying to jump into the travel lanes or the express lanes. So we could see even maybe another problem. I'll keep you updated with those travel times coming up in just a bit.
Show me the money. Millions of Americans have to wait months for their tax refund. The problems plaguing the IRS.
Plus, prepare to be pleasantly surprised at the gas pump. Seriously, prices are down when most stations could be under $4 a gallon. And pour one out for IPAs, the new type of beer becoming the more popular choice.